Hey everybody, welcome into our NBA TV studios. It's Game Time, presented by State Farm. I'm Kristen Ledlow, alongside our 3D, Dennis Scott, and we've got a guest analyst.
Thank you.
The 10-year NBA veteran, the NCAA champion, Tony Delk. Welcome.
Thank you. Making my 2019 appearance on NBA TV.
I know.
Excited.
Well, we chose a 12-game Saturday night to go ahead and toss you right into. And it started earlier in the day with, well, some breaking news. LeBron James returned to the Lakers lineup Thursday after missing 17 games with a groin injury, but wouldn't play in this one against the Warriors as the Lakers manage his workload.
17 years workload for LeBron. Okay.
He said after Thursday he was feeling about 80%.
I'll take it, LeBron. I trust you.
Yes, I do.
Klay Thompson coming out hot in this one, driving to the rim for the layup. Then Steph Curry behind the back here to Klay for, well, exactly where he's comfortable.
I guess that illness is feeling pretty good.
Yes, it is. Still one of the best catch-and-shoot players in the league.
Perfect time.
If not the best.
Ooh. Right on cue.
He had 23 points in the first half.
That's what he does. He gets off to a fast start because he knows the ball's going to find him.
The Lakers, though, taking control here early in the third quarter. Kyle Kuzma getting the three to go.
And we're seeing how these young guys are growing as this year progresses.
Do you think that these young guys will be Lakers this time next week?
That's a good question, Chris.
$1 million question right now.
A great pass, $1 million pass by Rondo to one of those guys that possibly could be in the mix and be gone, but excellent pass, good hands by Ingram to finish the play.
Unsurprisingly, the Warriors came back with a boom here. DeMarcus Cousins rolling to the rim. Posterizing Kyle Kuzma.
Well, Kuz, I love your effort. You're trying to help the helper, but you have to rotate a little faster.
Sometimes you just got to rotate and just keep going. You don't just.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't rotate.
Just don't rotate. You're right. Don't rotate.
Andre Iguodala, though, getting hot.
Okay, Iggy, with a little pop in your step.
I love it. Up top, then knocking down the three. He finished with 17 points in this game.
That's a bonus right there, TD.
That is, but you can't teach experience.
It makes
he has
it
lots
fun
of it.
when Andre Iguodala is doing well. When he's turning back the clock.
Iggy for three.
Now, Steph Curry started the game ice cold. He was 0 of 8, starting through the first 3 quarters. It's not an easy thing, but Steve Kerr decided he had a solution.
Steph Curry, just 2 points through 3 quarters. What do you see that's going on with him?
We're going to trade him. I've had enough of that guy.
Stevie Wonder, the best in the business.
So Steph would check back in here. Get his first bucket.
Thanks to Zubiak. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
Good night.
Too far out.
Sorry, KCP.
Miscommunication.
And then as soon as he saw the ball go through the basket, he went off for 14 points late in the game.
He needed 3 more quarters.
Right?
Yes. 3 more quarters would have definitely got him to 40.
The Warriors went on to win at 115 to 101. Let's go ahead and check in with Steph after the game. Here he is with Lisa Salters. Such a smooth way to remind you he's a 2-time MVP. What were you telling yourself? Well, I don't know. This doesn't happen often. I'm not used to having to come up with that inner dialogue.
No, and I just think the fact that you play the game the right way, you know the ball's going to come back and find you, and that's just the way the system is for those guys.
Right, and just understanding what you need to do to help your team out. It's not always about scoring. Just having Steph on the court gives you a guy that can make shots, but just his shot-making ability, you still have to stay at home, and it's still going to open up driving lanes for guys like Iggy, Klay Thompson, Durant, and it's a luxury when you can have a guy that you don't need his scoring.
Meanwhile, Steph's splash brother, Klay Thompson, scored 28 points, 10 of 15 from the field. What did you see from his shooting?
Well, first of all, when you're watching guys that understand that the ball movement and player movement is premium with the Warriors. So Klay Thompson's come in tonight and said, okay, Lakers, you get a layup, you're scoring, but we get out and run, we have great spacing. And y'all know I lead the NBA in knocking down catch and shoot threes. So I'm going to put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, get a couple layups, get myself going. But once again, when you have guys run to the three-point line, nobody's in the paint, you're able to get all the way to the basket and kind of trick the defense. Same play here. Y'all know I can make threes. You're pushing up on me. I'm putting the ball on the floor. I'm attacking the defense slowly but surely, getting myself in rhythm. Yes, I missed the game previously for the illness. Now let me get another layup. Good contest by Beasley, but not enough. Now, remember I said spacing? Remember I said players know their system? They know eventually the defense is going to suck into the lane. Now you pop out, leave it, splash. You knock down the three. You remind everybody, yes, I missed that game the other night. They missed my shooting ability tonight. I come back and remind people. So once again, the Warriors share the basketball, player movement, ball movement.
And when they're playing this well in February, it's got to be frightening for all 29 other teams.
I mean, it's scary anyway, just watching these guys play throughout the season, especially when everyone is healthy. If this team can stay healthy, you know, they could be NBA champion once again. But the way they play, the chemistry, how well, as you said, how well they move without the ball, they know one another. The best teams and teams that have won championship have great continuity, and that's because they've been together for a few years. When you have players that have been together 1 or 2 years, we don't really know each other that well. Right. But when you can put guys that can stay together 4 or 5 years, and also another key is keeping your coaching staff together. Being able to develop your young talent, but also having guys that your players trust in and they know. And a lot of times it gets missing because of the talent. But when I have 4 coaches that I've won championship with, those guys know me and I know them.
And somehow that continuity has not been disrupted by welcoming Boogie to the roster, who seems to be fitting in flawlessly.
It's fitting in flawlessly, and you can never overestimate the fact that he was there for training camp.
That's the key.
He didn't come in late. He didn't get traded there. Yes, he was in it, but he was rehabbing around the team. He was doing the training around the team. When he was getting healthy, Cuz went down to the G League. So little things like that lets me know his maturity coming into this situation is on a premium high. Why do we say that, TD? Because we know the microscope's on Cuz, because they win the championship, and he's a big reason on why they win. Now some teams are going to say, well, maybe he's grown up. Let's throw him a bank load of money. Let's get the truck backing up. But Cuz is like, wait a minute. This is a team that's believed in me. I'm not just going to run away. But then the Warriors saying, wait a minute, if someone offers you a 4-year deal one night, get your butt out of here. Go get that money.
Those guys are going to push him out faster than he came in. But I still think with Cousins, just knowing those guys and having played with them, and they understand him as a player, we're going to help you out. There's nothing better than playing with veterans who won championship, because those guys can have a different conversation than you go into another team and them not talking. They're talking about the playoff. This team is talking about winning an NBA championship because they have done it, and you can't teach that.
Having seen him and coached him as many years ago as you did, TD, are you surprised that he's fit into this Warriors system so seamlessly and so quickly?
I got a chance to see him, and even when GMs were coming in, and I was telling him, I said, hey, DeMarcus is a great kid. I said he loves the game. He wants to win. He's passionate about what he does. Don't get his attitude caught up with him not enjoying his teammates, because John Wall, all of us on the coaching staff, we all love DeMarcus. DeMarcus just wanted to win. At the end of the day, going to Sacramento, it was not a winning environment. You know, that organization was not winning at the time. They've done a great job this year. But when he was there, he wanted to win. But what he understood was, I have to play with guys that is as passionate about the game as I am and want to win as much as I do, and I will do my part. He understands his role with this team right now. He's not going to disrupt this team because this team has won championship, but having those veteran players make the transition a lot easier.
Well, we've got a lot more highlights to get to on a 12-game Saturday night as Game Time continues next, with James Harden and the Houston Rockets looking to get back on track after dropping 2 in a row in Utah to play the Jazz. We'll be right back.
Well, according to Chris Haynes, LeBron James is out for rest tonight against the Golden State Warriors. He played 40 minutes against the Clippers on Thursday night in his return after missing over a month with a groin injury. So many rumors surrounding Anthony Davis to Los Angeles. The latest rumor is that several teams are interested. So with that, let's listen to Luke Walton on LeBron James.
Luke, we just found out LeBron's not going to play. They said load management. Just any additional info on that?
No, we played 40 minutes that game, and it's been, woke up pretty sore. Hadn't been able to play a lot of basketball prior to that, so we got a couple days until our next game. So just load management.
What is that? How does that switch things back for today, just in terms of lineup and how you guys are playing the previous couple games without him?
Well, yeah, we're kind of working on all that right now. He was going to come here and kind of get a workout in and see how he felt before making a final decision. So we're working through some of that now.
You expect to have Kuzma and Hart available?
Yeah, we expect to have both of them.
Luke, what's most different about the Warriors since they got Cousins compared to how you played them on Christmas?
Well, Cousins is one of the best bigs in the game. He can pass, shoot from the three-point line. He's, he's a monster to handle down on the block, draws fouls, hits free throws. So it just gives them a whole nother dimension to try to plan for. And they've been winning a lot of games since he got active. So teams are still trying to figure out what's the best way to guard that group.
Barring a playoff series, this will be your last visit to Oracle Arena, obviously winning a championship here as a coach. Just any special memories that you can talk about and how special this building is, for basketball and has been.
Oh yeah, I mean, going back to when I played against these guys, it was always fun. The crowd is incredible up here. When I worked here, the employees I see working security, walking the halls, it's great to always see them. I had a great few years here.
After what Klay did in the last game, I mean, do you tweak your game plan to reflect that Klay was able to get open last time, or is it a similar game plan and you just hope that he doesn't get that hot again?
Well, the game plans, we're always tweaking it a little bit, making adjustments, just like they made adjustments to the way we were guarding them after the first game. And, they got three of the best shooters in the world on that team, so sometimes they just some of those threes Klay hit were, from 10 feet behind the line. Some had two people all over them. So sometimes you just got to tip your hat. But yeah, we're looking to make adjustments and do it.
Let's welcome in Bill Oram from The Athletic. He covers the Los Angeles Lakers. Look, Anthony Davis, he's been the talk of the NBA the past couple of days since requesting that trade from New Orleans. Still hasn't happened. Trade deadline is on Thursday at 3 o'clock. Is this deal going to get done before then?
I mean, I think there's a lot of skepticism that there's going to be a deal between the Lakers and Pelicans before the trade deadline. I've talked to a lot of people around the Lakers who, certainly not the people who are proposing the trade, but just people who are part of the team, traveling with the team, who are just skeptical that there's a deal that can be made before the trade deadline. Everybody understands that the Pelicans have a lot of options and will have more if they can wait till the summer when Boston gets involved, and which is why you're hearing so much about this deal right now. There are people on LeBron James's side who are trying to facilitate a deal to the Lakers to create the impression that there is not that Anthony Davis is not interested in being anywhere else and scare other teams off. We've not seen that work around the NBA. Teams have been willing to take the risk on guys with one year left. You saw it with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. So I think it's unlikely that 29 other teams or 28 other teams are going to be scared off by this. But they're trying their darndest right now to make it seem like that Anthony Davis to the Lakers is absolutely inevitable. But really, at this point, it isn't.
Let's say the Lakers don't trade for Anthony Davis before Thursday. What's plan B?
Well, I mean, I think plan B is to preserve all the cap space you can and get into the summer and do your best to attract one of those other guys who's available. In the meantime, I think there will be smaller deals that they'll pursue, look to add shooters who can help them on the perimeter. I mean, obviously, this is a team that ranks at or near the bottom of the league in three-point shooting. This is something that they knew going into the year after they'd added Rajon Rondo, Michael Beasley, Lance Stevenson, not shooters. So for the Lakers, if they can get a little help on the perimeter, a more traditional unit around LeBron James, that would go a long way. But it really is either big blockbuster for a superstar really at this point, or small moves around the margins just to help them get through this season. But there won't be that kind of middle tier deal where they'd be taking on somebody else's money. They are really reluctant to do that.
Hey, Bill, Karan Butler here. Just want to pivot away from the Anthony Davis discussion for a second and just talk about the morale of the ball club right now, the young guys, the young nucleus. Dealing with all the trade rumors, how are they adjusted?
Yeah, I mean, so far they've shown that they've been pretty good. I mean, Lonzo Ball is one guy we haven't had a chance to really see in this environment. He's been away from the team, obviously, with his sprained ankle. He's at the forefront of all these trade rumors. Kyle Kuzma I talked to before the game, and he said that he was keeping his head clear, that it hadn't really affected him yet at this point. All these guys are in touch with their agents. Luke Walton said that he has talked to some of these guys individually, but I think it's one of those things where guys want to see something more concrete before they let this totally worry them. But of course, it's human nature. It sneaks in there where you start to wonder, am I going to get traded? Is my time here going to be done? Am I going to be part of what they're building here? But everybody played pretty well against the Clippers on Thursday. Obviously, it changed a little bit last night when the reports went from the theoretical of what the Lakers might do to reports of offers that were actually on the table. But from what I've seen, the Lakers, the young Lakers nucleus has kept their heads on pretty straight, and they went through this a bit last year, obviously going through the trade deadline, watching Larry Nance and Jordan Clarkson get dealt to Cleveland. So I think there is kind of an awareness of the business side of this and trying not to let it get too emotional.
Bill, have you seen any visible frustration from these young guys? I mean, as we're talking about Jason Hart, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, they're all fantastically young. Have you seen any visible frustration, and have you been offered up to the Pelicans yet?
I love New Orleans. They can have me, please. I think I'm gonna have 4 nights in New Orleans in the spring due to the Lakers' travel schedule. I'll take more. I'll take a playoff series. I'll take an entire season. I have a lot of restaurants I can't get to in 4 nights. That said, to your first question, I really haven't seen where the young guys have shown that they've been too affected by this or frustrated. I think the frustration came when they were losing games before LeBron came back, when they were losing those games to teams like the Knicks and the Cavaliers. It was a really brutal stretch for that team, and I think that's where you saw them start to get frustrated. Maybe there would have been a chance of fracturing in the locker room, but LeBron, I think, came back at just the right time. The Lakers have fallen to 9th in the West. They're still there, but obviously have climbed back to within a game of the Clippers before their win today. So I think that they're in terms of this unit staying together, I think they've done a good job up to this point.
LeBron returned on Thursday, played 40 minutes, now sitting out tonight. Did he stay on the court too long in that first game back?
I mean, I think the game went too long. It would have been better for the Lakers, obviously, if they could have finished the Clippers off in regulation. Maybe if JaVale McGee had been able to put down that dunk, or if LeBron had not turned the ball over on that final drive. But obviously, 40 minutes, he hadn't played in 5 weeks. It's not really that surprising in a game that was going to be a tall order for this Lakers team anyway. Get him some rest. Let him recover. The Lakers don't play for another 2 days when they are in Indiana on Tuesday. Big final stretch before the playoffs, or excuse me, before the All-Star break, as they try to get to the playoffs. They go to Indiana, Boston, Philly, and then the Hawks right before the All-Star break. That is a tough stretch, and if LeBron James is going to really get the Lakers to the postseason, which obviously is not a guarantee at this point after the 6-11 stretch when he was injured, they need him to be his absolute best for those games and hopefully go in and steal one in Boston or Philly, which are very difficult places for him to play, obviously.
Yeah, I definitely felt like he should have had some type of minutes restrictions after being out so long. But I would ask you, per Woj, and we saw the first report of the trade, I'm going to put it in your court. Who do you trade, and what are you willing to part ways with to acquire Anthony Davis?
I mean, I wrote this earlier this week. I think whatever the Pelicans want, the Lakers should be prepared to give. It is hard to get that second superstar. We know that teams have been reluctant to deal with the Lakers. They don't want to see a super team in L.A. And so if the Pelicans are willing to make a deal, even if it causes you to completely empty your cupboards, I think having LeBron James, the best player in the league right now, the best player of this generation, and then a 25-year-old superstar in Anthony Davis to kind of build around in the future, you probably make whatever deal the Pelicans ask for, even if it's all the young guys. The problem is, obviously we saw the reports they started with what was considered a low-ball offer, and they'll go from there. I would expect as we get closer to Thursday's deadline, the Lakers' offer will continue to increase. I mean, obviously it wouldn't make sense for them to come out day one, say take everything, because then you'd live the rest of your life wondering if you could have gotten him for less. But I think the Pelicans are holding out for that maximum offer, and I would be very surprised if by 11:59 Pacific time on Thursday, the Lakers aren't saying, okay, whatever you want. Because to get that second guy, especially looking at this free agent class in 2019 this summer, Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, none of those guys feel like real fits with the Lakers or haven't really given the indications that they are interested in coming and playing with LeBron James. Anthony Davis wants to play with LeBron James. So if you can get him, I think that really, no matter the cost, you have to make it happen, as painful as it would be to part with such a massive group of young, talented players.
Bill Orm from The Athletic, thank you for your time. Lakers, Warriors at 8:30. No LeBron James, but a lot of Anthony Davis talk. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, guys.
So, again, he said, mirrored a lot of the things you said, Karan, in the sense of they want to or feel like they have to get this deal done by the trade deadline on Thursday. I think that's the key in this situation, is that it doesn't seem like the Lakers want to wait until the offseason to get this done.
Yeah, because now you're forfeiting the future of a young nucleus. And you see it. Here's the thing. You see it a little bit with D'Lo, where D'Angelo Russell, and now he's in Brooklyn, and he's an all-star this year, right? So you're going to trade possibly Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, and all these guys have no ceilings on their potential. But you're going for sure thing right now in Anthony Davis, and you're gambling in the free agency, understanding that a lot of the guys are not out there and willingly saying that they want to play next to LeBron James. If it was a for sure thing that Kawhi Leonard was going to leave Toronto and say, look, I would love to pair with LeBron James, okay, I'll take my 50-50 chance. But you saw what happened with Paul George, and you just don't want to strike out up at base.
I think you give them everything they want.
Everything.
Everything they want. Everything.
Everything.
Everything. You're at some point. Look, they've identified AD. They want AD. You're going to get there at some point, and you have to do it. And then you go out and you try to get who you get this summer. But if you've got, and then you hope LeBron and AD can win a championship. LeBron retires in a couple of years, and AD just keeps on trucking in LA, right?
He's just 25.
25.
That's why it's so intriguing, because he's 25 years old, superstar.
Warriors-Lakers tip off at 8.